They say rivers never forget, but the Congo remembers everything. It remembers what most of us choose to forget. The Congo River doesn't whisper, it roars. Even in stillness, you feel it, a pulsing, heavy silence, like a heartbeat underwater. It carves its way through the very lungs of Africa, stretching over 400 to 700 kilometers. It feeds forests so dense they swallow sound. It flows deeper than most oceans. And yet, its greatest depth is the pain it carries. You look at it and see a river, but to the people who've lived and died along its banks, it is something else entirely. A witness, a graveyard, and a reluctant messenger of truths the world refused to hear. To understand the Congo, you must first understand who broke it. In 1885, the Congo Free State became the personal property, not of a nation, but of one man, King Leopold II of Belgium. He never set foot there, yet he ruled with a savagery that made even other colonial powers uneasy. Leopold came for rubber, and the world applauded because rubber meant modernity, tires, telegraphs, industry. But what the world didn't see was how that rubber was harvested. Armed agents would enter villages, demanding quotas. If the men failed, the soldiers would take their wives, their children, or their hands. Yes, hands. A soldier's cartridge had to be accounted for. So to prove they didn't waste bullets, they were required to return with a severed hand for every shot fired. Many brought hands, even if no shots were fired. Tens of thousands of Congolese children grew up watching their fathers maimed, their mothers dragged away. Their futures bled dry under the name of progress. And through it all, the Congo River carried boats back to Europe, heavy with rubber and soaked in blood. Estimates say 10 million Congolese died under Leopold's rule. That's not just genocide, that's industrial scale erasure. When the world finally shamed Leopold into relinquishing control, Belgium took over, but the damage was done. The Congo had already been broken, its identity warped, its governance built on extraction and silence. When independence came in 1960, it should have been a celebration, but instead, it descended into chaos. Patrice Lumumba, Congo's first prime minister, was young, brilliant, and daring. Too daring. He spoke of dignity, of breaking free from colonial chains, of a Congo for its own people. But the West didn't like that. Backed by foreign power, Lumumba was arrested, tortured, and assassinated. His body dissolved in acid, his voice silenced. But the river remembers his name. What followed was dictatorship under Mobutu Sese Seko, a man who renamed the country Zaire and dressed in leopard skin while billions of dollars in aid vanished into Swiss accounts. And the people, they waited, they survived, they died. Today, the Congo River flows through one of the world's richest nations in terms of natural resources. Cobalt, coltan, gold, the lifeblood of your smartphone, your laptop, your electric car. But those riches are not blessings. They are curses. In the East, militias, some backed by foreign interests, fight over mines. Villagers are displaced, women raped, children armed. In some places, the river is the only way to flee, a path not to hope, but to survival. A boy named Makasi, no older than 12, once told a reporter, "I dig in the mine, then I sleep. If I don't work, they beat my brother." When asked what he wanted to be when he grew up, he said, "I don't know, maybe alive." This is not ancient history, this is now. And the Congo River continues to flow, quietly cradling both the living and the lost. But darkness is not the only thing that lives here. There is still music in the Congo. There is dance. There is resistance. In Kinshasa, rap battles erupt on street corners. Kids armed not with guns, but words. In remote villages, drumming still echoes at night, summoning spirits older than colonizers. In forests untouched by roads, pygmy communities fish and forage as they always have, in harmony with the land, not in conquest. The Congo River is still sacred. To many, it is still a god. Not because it punishes, but because it endures. The Congo is the deepest river on Earth, over 220 meters in places. Its depths are still unexplored. Some believe there are species in its darkest trenches that no human has ever seen. And perhaps that's fitting, because the river mirrors its people. Depths no one bothered to understand, wounds no one cared to heal. But even the deepest pain cannot erase dignity. Even the longest suffering cannot erase hope. The Congo does not ask for pity. It asks for memory, for honesty, for the world to stop looking away. So the next time you hold your phone, think of the child who mined the cobalt that powers it. Think of the river that carried him home or swallowed his body. Think of the silence and break it. Because the Congo is not just a river. It is the memory of an empire, the scream of a nation, and the question we still refuse to answer. What is the cost of forgetting them? If this story moved you, don't let it be the last one. Subscribe to Myths and Mysticism of Rivers, where forgotten waters find voice, because some rivers still bleed, and someone has to listen.